Oh dear. It's the morning after the night before. Not feeling too bright and breezy, to be honest. A little bit rough around the edges, and that's thanks to the cocktails we were knocking back last night. Always a good idea to knock back lots of different cocktails when you got to get up at 6 in the morning to go round to Kudat to go off and do something. We've got to do something today. I think it's a trip to the tip of Borneo, which is just over there. Obviously it's a trip by land, so we've got to get up now, and as you can tell, not really feeling it at the moment. Beautiful morning though. Beautiful, it's really nice here, it's lovely. One thing I have to say to camera before I forget, whilst we were obsessed with filming young girls in bikinis last night, it was very interesting chatting to Robert, who actually ran that bar. He's a local guy, and he was explaining, I had a long chat with him at the end, but a little bit too tipsy to be recording him, explaining that he's putting a great emphasis on recycling and kind of green camping. Oh, you know what I mean, shut up. Right, I've had a coffee, I can be more articulate now. Right, that's the cape. That there is the very tip of Borneo. So we've just come round inside the island with the lighthouse on it, and we're now heading down the east side of Sabah. This is the furthest east we've ever been, and how is it so far? Well, it's flat. To be honest, if it stayed like this, I wouldn't have a problem. I'm expecting to do lots of motoring on this trip anyway. Obviously, if we get sailing in, that would be great. But what we don't want, of course, is for the sea state to pick up and it to be uncomfortable. Who likes that, eh? No one, especially not me. So, yeah. Beautiful morning. Anyway, that's where we're going to be later on this afternoon. We have a trip organised, so we're racing to get to Kudat, and hopefully we'll be there, and I might even fly the drone as well. Can you tell us what you're doing?
So we're going to have to med moor when we get to Kudat up against the wall, so we need a long line to take back from the stern, which we have here. This is our second road. Is it 100 metres of line?
Yeah, 100 metres.
100 metres of line, but we've also got chain on it, and we don't really want the chain hanging off. This is for the anchor, so now got a line.
Sharon and I started on the roster, and I've got a copy of it here. Only need to do it for the first 3 nights, so that's all we've done. Sandakan, we shouldn't have to do a roster. Kinabatangan, we shouldn't have to do a night watch, although they did last year because the local police said they were concerned about petty theft, so they asked them to do a night watch. Anyway, we'll wait till we see.
Hey, Bill, I'm in the mood for a switch up.
First excursion, and we are in a pickup with Asmir, our driver. Hello. And the likely lads in the back with Liz.
The girls are in the back.
The girls,
all
yeah.
The girlies.
Not entirely sure what we're doing today. All I know is the guy that runs it owns a homestay. What I do know is we're going to the tip of Borneo, and that's about it. Any other ideas what we're doing?
No, it's a magical mystery tour.
So our first stop is a government-funded sort of start-up. It's for small businesses basically, so small businesses in the local area who want to start up can use these premises as their offices and workshops.
Black and white, they're simple, isn't it? And you make this here?
Yeah.
And you buy the cotton in,
Yes.
and then you hand batik?
Use the cotton material.
Yeah.
And then put some design.
Yeah.
And make it color, put it color.
Let's see.
For example, like this.
It's really nice to see them making it by hand, and this is one of the this is just a piece of fabric. I just like the colour, you know. I only have about 18 sarongs, so I think I need another one.
Yeah, what about, try on Roy, will it suit Roy?
No, but no good on me.
It looks like a Roman emperor.
Matches your eyes, Roy.
An old drink, me.
Matches his tongue. This is a complex set up by Sabah government to encourage artisans, and they're provided with free workshops to do their work. So we found batik, cosmetics, noodles. There's a chocolate place over there which I'd really like to see. Yeah, all good, lovely. Anyway, I'm very happy I got my thing. This is a really beautiful pail, and it's got lots of ice and water in it. So I thought, and there's no tap, and because we're all eating with our hands. I thought, oh, I'll just turn on the tap and wash my knees because I dropped some food on my knees. So I washed my knees and I washed my hands and I wiped my face. 5 minutes later, someone came along and they pointed out to me it's actually lychee juice. So while I was doing that, all the local people were all standing around looking at me while I'm washing myself in lychee juice. What an idiot. I believe that we're going into a bird house. This is where they keep the birds. It's where the birds that make birds' nest soup live. This is how they farm them. And the birds naturally make their nests, and these guys take the nests and sell them to China for enormous amounts of money. Oh, we can hear.
Keep quiet.
So I'm on the first floor of a bird's nest soup house. Swallows create these nests through their spit. They're tiny little nests. So this is what the Chinese eat as a delicacy. You've probably heard of bird's nest soup. And we see these buildings all over Malaysia and Thailand. Now, I always thought that they put speakers up. Turns out they do. There's speakers all the way around here, and it's presumably to entice the birds to nest here. And as we look outside, we can see all the swallows flying around, thousands of them.
So once they've taken the nest out of the area that we saw earlier, they're brought in here, and then these women go through every single tiny little thing, any little imperfection. So there might be insects, feathers, bits of dirt, whatever. That's all removed with tiny little tweezers, so you end up with a completely white product at the end that's completely clean. That's what we can see so far, and I'm wondering if they're then rinsed in anything. I'm not sure whether that's finished or not, but this is the next process. So once all the work's been done in there, they're brought in here in these sort of strange looking lumps, and then from that they're put into a mould to give them that distinctive half bird nest shape that we know. And then there in this box we've got the finished product here, and they're fabulously expensive.
And what do they taste like, Liz?
I don't know what they taste like, and I probably never will. So it turns out they're not bird nest soup nests. They're not bird nest soup nests. They are used for making a dessert, They put sugar with it. Of course they do, it's Malaysia. Malaysia has sugar in everything. So it's more like a dessert, and apparently you boil it. And that's as far as I got in understanding. But it's 7,000 ringgit a kilo, which is 1,400 quid? No, 1,300 quid. Yeah. For just a kilo of those. It's a lot of labour intense work. No trip to Borneo would be complete without a visit to a traditional longhouse. They're more commonly associated with the neighbouring state of Sarawak, but in Kudat you can visit and stay in a longhouse of the Momongan Rungus tribe. They have distinctive language, dress, architecture, oral literature and customs. The Mungus were traditionally animist with female shamans, but most Rungus are now Christian. Traditional Rungus dress is black, but accompanied by hundreds of dollars worth of antique beads. Rungus women wear heavy brass coils around their arms, legs and neck. The beadwork often tells a story. Although built as a tourist attraction, today you can get a feel for how multiple families share the living space of a single longhouse, built from split bamboo. Each family has its own room off a communal hall.
And also we use, if we are eating food, we just put here.
Coconut, yeah.
Coconut, yes.
So this is one whole family.
Yes.
This is their room, and the longhouse has a number of families all living.
But the original one must be bigger in this one. In all this, we have no pipes.
Yeah.
We go to the river and bring this bamboo to get the water.
To get the water from
Yes,
the river
from
using
the-
bamboo
yes.
as a pipe.
So when we back home, we just put the water here for drink.
I see.
Yeah. And when we go to the farm, also we use this bamboo. We put the water here and put the water. It's very easy
And then
to
you carry it.
carry it.
Yeah. There you go.
Give us a 12. We're at the Borneo Bee Centre and we're actually going to see some bees. Now this is quite exciting because Liz, well I love my honey as well, but Liz has honey all the time. She forgot to buy some when we provisioned, so she's very excited. We're hoping we can pick some up. But before that, we're going to see if Kim is allergic. Is she allergic to bees? We don't know yet because she's never been stung, so we're going to purposely sting her and see if she goes into some kind of shock syndrome.
Watch your bloat.
Then you've got to put someone in cold water if they go into anaphylactic shock. You chuck them in a bath of water or a river.
Oh, luckily we have those at hand.
So we'll look for that.
It's the chin thing.
Okay, you see the smoke there? Here is Mr. Jangin. He's the one who in charge all of the bee colony here. He maintains the colony, and what he's doing now is smoke the bee with a coconut husk, burnt coconut husk. Yeah, that's the safest. That's the safest choice to make a smoke from. Hold it delicately. Don't shake it too much. Okay, point it to the camera.
Well done, Liz. Yes. Well done.
Well, by the way, our
Beautiful.
bees here, they are not that aggressive that the mosquito. not every day.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, they hold a
That was
good
our
edge.
little coconut refreshment stop. I had 2. They're so thirst quenching as well. In fact, the 2 that I had were slightly different. If it's got flesh inside, meat, then it's slightly sweeter. So the first one had no meat in it at all, and that's much more sort of watery. The second one is just slightly sweeter, but both very, very delicious. Expertly chopped there.
They're taking now. Not you. Yeah, they are stingless, but they emit this. They secrete this propolis
Oh,
to prevent some flies from attacking them. Okay, see the bubbles here? This is the honey. If I rip this one open, able to see, yeah, that's the honey. Tick, tick, tick. That's the honey.
Well, I feel like we've done so much already. And that Longhouse was very interesting because we haven't done that before, and they are traditional houses which we should have done already, but great to see that. We're now at Misampuru Homestay, and this is our host for today's home. Cobra, his name is. Now normally he would have the rally here every year and they put on a dance and food and what have you, but of course because of the MCO he's not allowed to do that this year, but he has at least put on some refreshments, and it's time just to relax just for half an hour right in the middle of the dense rainforest here, and have a refreshing thirst quenching cup of tea and some mee noodles before going on to the tip of Borneo.
So surrounding this garden, as you can see in my behind, we have 1,500, more than 1,500 species of tree,
Wow.
and then more than 250 species of birds surrounding my 9 acres garden in here. So that's why this place also we call it plant nursery and bird garden.
Where are you getting these plants from? From all over the world?
Yeah, the farm actually, some of the farm actually from all over the world. Some of the plant here I took also from Australia, from China, through UK, Africa. There's some from Japan, Korea. I brought here. Oh, this is a tree. The tree is from Australia. The name of tree is eucalyptus.
This is a eucalyptus? Yep.
Eucalyptus.
Do you use this in medicine at all?
Yes, this is for medicine actually. Eucalyptus.
Yes.
If you, some fever, you can put it here.
Yeah.
And then if mosquito biting, you can just put.
Like tiger balm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, like a balm. Just like a balm.
Yeah.
In my garden also, we plant more than 500 kind of fruits, local fruits. Tapioca. They are the very big.
Well, it's been absolutely fascinating. We just ended up at his big fish pond, which got lots of fish in it. And I was just saying to Cobra, I think it's time to go back now because there are lots of mosquitoes here and I don't want to be catching dengue. And he said that actually the government health inspectors come down every 2 weeks to his pond and surrounding areas and checks the mosquitoes, takes samples to check to see if they've got a duck under here, to see if there is dengue. And he has no cases of dengue at all. So that's quite reassuring to hear, isn't it? Anyway, it's great to see someone really enthusiastic about their garden and their plants, and I think it's now time for one last cup of tea before heading up to the tip.
It's 11,800 kilometres to London. We're on the very, very tip of Borneo. It's taken all day to get here. And this morning we actually sailed right round this tip. And now we've come back by car. We're going to watch the sunset, and we have actually got a possible sunset occurrence coming along because the clouds aren't too bad. Can you imagine 11,800 kilometres away, London? Hi London, miss you, not much. Here we are, let's enjoy it.
It's D-Day, everyone. It's time to leave, and Roy's already out there because we've got this situation where we have to untie each other's lines. So the idea here is that we've tied the lines to the back on the breakwater, 2 lines from astern. So we're sort of God dear, she is in a foul mood today. I don't know what is wrong with her. She needs to snap out of it. We're supposed to be having fun here. I won't bore you with the details. Yeah, so anyway, right, we're just weighing anchor now. You can see the other 3 boats there tied up on the breakwater, outer breakwater, and then you've got the round sort of fishbowl up there where the other boats are. Anyway, it's time to go. Hooray!